Hello guys, and welcome to episode number 2 in my mini-series on how to prevent, reduce and heal depression and anxiety, all natural. In today's episode I will dive deeper into the mental reality and what we can do mentally in order to prevent, reduce and heal depression and anxiety. It's gonna be a very interesting episode with a little bit deeper as well than the first one. But stay with me because there are some stuff here that you need to hear about because they are really beneficial for everybody. Okay, so let's get started. First off, point number 1. Point of view. So, what I want to say with the point of view we have is the point of view we have will determine our outcome. The point of view we have will be our mindset towards things in life. So let's say if I have a depression and I see this depression as the end of the world and I see this depression as problems, only problems. Guess what? It's gonna feel like the end of the world most of the time, and there's only gonna be problems. If I instead change my point of view and see my depression as a challenge and as an opportunity for growth, even though it's painful because our old self is dying and our new self is emerging and get born, and it's painful. But if we change the point of view, our reality changes as well. Same thing if we suffer from anxiety. Even though anxiety is so painful and it feels like you're getting tortured, by changing the point of view and seeing the anxiety as a signal to take a step back and analyze and review life and ask yourself and ask ourselves, what is it in my life that makes me feel this way? So this stuff, depression and anxiety, in my world they are not bad stuff, they are challenges. And the benefits we can reap from this if we take on the challenge and overcome the challenge is amazing. So this is personal development deluxe. If you're going through a depression and anxiety or problems with this, you can be sure that God has a big plan for you, because He or she, I don't know if it's a he or she, but God only put his or her strongest warriors. He or she only give the strongest warrior, the toughest battles to the strongest warriors. That's supposed to like to be. So, yeah, point of view is crucial. Let's go over to point number 2. Judging ourselves. We need to stop judge ourselves. At least minimize the judging of ourselves. I don't know if it's possible to completely stop it. I work with it all the time. We need to stop judge ourselves as much as possible, because it's one thing we feel like shit and it's another thing we start judging ourselves because we feel like shit. It's like 2 slaps in the face, bam bam bam. We all, like, one slap is enough, you know. Depression and anxiety is enough. We don't need to judge ourselves as well. Oh, I'm going crazy, I'm different, I'm useless, and all this kind of bullshit we tell ourselves when we have depression and anxiety, just because it's taboo to talk about. Man and girl, this is completely normal. It's completely normal. And we need to stop judging ourselves because we feel this way. We need to feel this way in order to grow, in order to become better at life, at everything. So, instead of judging ourselves, we should focus on loving ourselves. If our friend would be feeling down, we would not judge him. Oh, he feels down, you know. Why should we judge ourselves? We should love ourselves and lift ourselves up. That's the key. Point number 3, mentality. So this ties in with the mindset. If we have a mentality of a victim, if we feel victimized by life, oh, I'm a victim, our life treated me bad and all these bad things are happening. Yeah, guess what? If we think we are a victim, good chances are we're gonna feel like a victim and we're gonna become a victim. Instead, we need to take our power back, because believe me, we all have so much power inside. We just need to find it. It's in there, believe me. But the moment when we start feeling like a victim, we are losing the battle. We need to take the power back and realize I'm not a victim. This is happening to me for a reason. This is happening to me to grow, so I can grow strength, so I can develop as a person, so I can become better at life. We need to have a winning mentality instead of a victim mentality. So we determine what we are and who to become of this. And believe me, to choose to become better at life from this is the best thing I ever did. Alright, point number 4. The story gap. So this is a theory from the famous psychoanalyst and psychologist Carl Jung. His theory is called the story gap, as I said. So the story gap is the story I tell myself about myself and my life situation, and the story I tell other people about myself and my life situation. If there is a big difference from the story to myself and the story to other people, I have a big story gap. And this is not especially healthy for our mental health. So we need to shrink our story gap. What I tell myself about myself and my life situation, I need to be honest and open to other people as well. This is all about being true to ourselves, being true to who I am, standing up for our truth, be my real self, and be honest about it, speak our truth, you know? This is super important. If we don't do this, if I have a big story gap, good chances are we develop depression and anxiety, so we need to shrink the story gap. So we are authentic to ourselves and are in line with ourselves. And when we are in line with ourselves, that's where the real power emerge. Okay, point number 5. So this point is according to me, the most interesting point, and let's dive deeper into it. So this point is called the subconscious and conscious. So we have two parts of our mind. We have our subconscious mind and our conscious mind. And these two works together. But they are very, very different. Our conscious mind is our personality, our creative mind, our everyday life. Our subconscious mind is our belief system about ourselves, about other people, about relationships, about everything in life. And our subconscious and our belief system directly influence our conscious minds in everyday life. So let me make an analogy for you here. We have a computer, and we have a computer screen and a mouse and a keyboard. So the computer screen, the mouse and the keyboard, that's our conscious minds. The computer, the whole software, that's our subconscious mind. So what we have on our computer screens, what kind of programs, what kind of choices we can make with our mouse and our keyboard, is directly determined by our computer, our subconscious. So the subconscious is the most powerful. So the conscious is directly influenced by our subconscious. So we need to jump back in time in order to make this even more clear. So we are born, and from the age 0 to 7, our subconscious is programmed. Our computer is created. And in this age, our minds and brains work from a brain frequency called theta. And this brain frequency, what I'm saying with this is this brain frequency affects us, is our minds and brains is like a recorder, like a videotape recorder that's absorbing everything that's happening around us. So what happens in this age will determine our subconscious programming. And so let's say how other people treat each other, how they treat me, will be determined how my subconscious look like. So let's say my parents always fighting, and my mother tells me in this age that love is only problems, love sucks, love stinks. This will I absorb into my mind and my brain and directly download to my subconscious, because in the age 0 to 7 we have not yet developed our critical mind, and our critical mind we develop at the age 8 or 9. This critical mind work as a filter. So we don't have this filter in this age. So whatever gets told to us, we take as our truth. And this truth gets downloaded into the subconscious and is created as a belief system. So my mother told me this. Now the good chance and the high probability is I will go ahead in my life, in my adult life, and have this belief system that love is only a problem, love sucks, love stinks. And this will affect my whole personality, my choices, my actions, and everything. So, or for example, if our parents never praised us, never gave us like, oh yeah, you're great, only gave us shit and putting us down, good chances are and high probability is we're gonna develop a low self-esteem. And this low self-esteem, yeah, will be a subconscious program which will influence our conscious minds throughout our whole life. And we, even though we make amazing things and great things happen, we will never be enough for ourselves because we have low self-esteem that have been programmed in us from the age 0 to 7. So you see how these two works together. So our subconscious programming is everything, because the subconscious has the power of the conscious, and the conscious is right now, right here, personality and everything. I hope you get it. And we can work with the subconscious, and the subconscious, we can reshape it. So even though we've been treated bad from the age 0 to 7 and created all these negative programs and beliefs about ourselves and everything else that's sabotaging our life, we can reprogram this. And we do it with creating habits. So the subconscious works with habits. So if we want to reshape it, we need to make new habits. Repetitive things. So one thing is we can think positive thoughts every day. Not just sometimes. It has to be every day. It has to be repetitive. It has to be a pattern. It has to be a habit. As when it becomes a habit, it gets downloaded into the subconscious and it becomes our reality. Or if we want to get fit and train and all this, we need to create this as a habit in order to make it come true. Same with everything. We can also use meditation frequently, of course. We need to use meditation as a habit. And when we use this the meditation as a habit, we can access different brain frequencies. As I told you earlier, from the age 0 to 7, we operate from the brain frequency theta. And when we are in theta, we are in the subconscious is listening. The conscious is not listening. So we're talking to the subconscious. And with meditation, we can go down in brain frequency to theta again and start working with the subconscious. So today, in adult life, we operate from the delta and beta brain waves. Everyday life, normal life. With meditation, we can go to theta, as I said. So habits is very, very good. Also, when we go into sleep, we also go down in theta just before we go to sleep. If we listen to, we have earplugs in, earpods, or we have a radio where they speak motivational messages or optimistic stuff about ourselves. We can listen to anything, because when we about to go to sleep and we enter theta brainwaves, the conscious is shut off and the subconscious is listening. So if you listen to a tape that say you are great, you are amazing, you are wonderful, the subconscious is listening to this. And it will get downloaded into the subconscious. We create it as a program, and you will believe this in your conscious mind. Yeah. Okay. That was everything about the subconscious and conscious. Very important stuff. So, depression and anxiety. Work with the subconscious to get rid of this, because it's in here we have all the answers. Alright. Point number 6. Self-talk. Yeah, of course, we need to talk to ourselves with love. You know, when we talk to ourselves, when we think good stuff about ourselves, I want to tell you a thought is like a seed. So if you plant a seed in your mind that I love myself, this seed will stay in there. Now it's our job to give water to the seed so it grows. It's the same thing with the negative self-talk. If we plant negative seeds in our minds, yeah, and we water these ones, they grow, and we develop depression and anxiety. So we need to give the self-talk, positive self-talk. I love you, John, you're amazing, and all this. The brain doesn't know the difference if it's me who telling me all this loving stuff or it's someone else. And if someone else would tell me, I would be super happy. So we need to tell it to ourselves, because the brain doesn't know the difference and we get the same benefit. It's just like a bank account, emotional bank account. If you want to put in money, give yourself love. It's like putting in money in your bank account, and we want money, right? We want build money. Just with emotion, we want to build the love inside ourselves. If we talk shit to ourselves, we withdraw money. And we don't want to withdraw money, because then we become poor emotionally, and we develop depression and anxiety. So self-talk is extremely important, and we can use affirmations. Affirmation is just a repetitive word or a sentence. So affirmation can be, for example, I'm lovable, and I can repeat this in my mind for 10 minutes or 1 minute or the whole day. I'm lovable, I'm lovable, I'm lovable, I'm lovable. Or in the mind, just quiet, I'm lovable, you know. And this will help a lot. We insert money in our emotional bank account. And it can feel silly in the beginning to be all little pony on you. Oh, I love you, you're amazing, you're great. But believe me, this stuff is really, really powerful. So if you experiencing depression and anxiety, or just some mental illness, use affirmations. And you will start feeling better, I promise you. Okay, point number 7. Our mental hygiene. So this is important as well. So this is what I want to say with mental hygiene, is what we spend our time looking at. Everything around us is information. If we spend time looking at negative stuff on the internet, news that's only negative and only worries about, you know, the mainstream media, guess what? This is gonna influence our thoughts, and this is gonna influence our emotions, and our emotions is gonna influence our actions. So we need to pay attention what we spend our time looking at. We need to look at good stuff that's healing and positive towards ourselves. And just sitting with like all social media and looking at all these amazingly beautiful people and all these people with the perfect houses, perfect homes, perfect life, oh happy days, you know. This can create depression and anxiety as well if we start compare ourselves. You see, mental illness in young people has going up, and at the same time the using of social media goes up as well. So they're going both up. So I think these two have correlation. They are connected. Some people say they're not. Some people say they do. I believe they do. So we really need to pay attention to our mental hygiene, what we spend our time looking at, what we feed our minds with, because this will directly influence our minds and our thoughts and everything. Alright, last point. Let go and accept. Oh, now my camera is running out of battery, so yep, so last point, let go and accept. So this is, I think, one of the most important points. If we experience depression and anxiety, we need to accept that this is happening to us. We need to let go. Release, surrender is a better word for this. We need to surrender to it. We need to surrender to the pain, to our demons, to our negative thoughts and all this. Because if we fight against them, we create friction. You know? If we don't fight against them, there will be no fight. You know? It takes two to tango. So by surrendering and let go and accepting, we release this. And I can guarantee you, depression and anxiety will pass faster. It will go fast. I'm not saying it will disappear, but we need to surrender, let go and accept, and just give ourselves to God or to the universe or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. We need to surrender to it. And I know it's not easy. It took me many, many years to get where I am in my mental health. And I had to surrender as well. And believe me, I've been crying like a baby. But, you know, let go, accept and surrender, that's the best thing I ever did. And forgive all people and forgive myself for what I've done and what I haven't done. Forgive all the people that have ever done me wrong. This is a big part of surrendering as well. So, my friend, I hope you learned something today. And if you're going through something like this, depression, anxiety, you can be sure life has something really good for you ahead. You just have to complete the challenge. I'm with you. And I'm sending love to you. Next time we will jump into the emotional aspect of how to prevent, reduce and heal depression and anxiety. It will be a very, very interesting episode as well, and I hope I see you there. So I hope you have a beautiful day. Peace. Bye bye.